Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Diaspora TV Switzerland News. My name is Rahel Sisai, and these are the news headlines. A proposal to put a limit on health insurance cost called Premium Relief Initiative is ongoing. New rules on asylum procedures came into force across Switzerland from the 1st of March 2019. Switzerland is about to join the league of other countries in Europe that offers debt relief to their citizens. The Action Week Against Racism started from March 2019 in many cities and cantons in Switzerland. Africa's R&B superstar Runtown thrilled fans in Passion Club Bern. Many Swiss households are struggling to cope with rising health insurance premiums. A People's Initiative wants these premiums to not exceed 10% of income, with the balance paid for by the state. The aim is to include in the Swiss constitution a premium limit of 10% of disposal income and the right to a subsidy for those whose premiums exceed this limit. The initiative foresees that at least two-thirds of this reduction would be financed by the federal government and the rest by the cantons. The Social Democrat Party now has 18 months to collect the necessary at least 100,000 signatures to force a nationwide vote for its proposal. In a new development, the Senate has approved a controversial proposal to raise the minimum amount to be paid by patients for health services before the health insurance takes over the coverage. Following an earlier decision by the House of Representatives, the Senate then agreed to increase the deductible to 350 Swiss francs annually under certain conditions instead of 300 Swiss francs. Supporters said the added 50 Swiss francs would help reduce health costs and encourage patients to make less frequent use of medical products and services. The Interior Minister, Alain Berset, whose portfolio includes health matters, said previous increases had failed to bring down health costs. Switzerland has one of the most expensive health systems, and rising costs have long been a major concern for consumers. Anyone planning to come to Switzerland to seek asylum should be aware that the law has changed effect from 1st of March 2019. Most asylum proceedings are now to be completed within 140 days in federal asylum seeker centers instead of the cantons. Around 80% of the accommodation capacity is now ready, according to the Justice Ministry. The reform was approved by two-thirds of Swiss voters in spring 2016. Since the news broke out, Diaspora TV Switzerland received several messages and calls from migrants who want to know if the law is applicable to those already in the process or only applicable to anyone that requests for asylum after the 1st of March 2019. In addition to a video message that is available at the end of these news segments. Mr. Lucas Ryder, spokesperson for the State Secretariat for Migration, SEM, is here with us in the studio to clarify the doubt.
Thank you, Diaspora TV, for having me. It's my pleasure to be here, and I would like to guide you through the new Asylum Act, the new asylum procedures in Switzerland, in force since March 1st, 2019. The goal of the new procedures are that most asylum demands will be completed within the first 140 days. To achieve that goal, we follow a strict procedure and a strict timetable at every stage. First, there's a preparatory phase. There, people will be identified, their fingerprints will be taken, and there will be a health check if necessary. After that preparatory phase, there's either the Dublin procedure, where those people who already asked for asylum in another European state will be put in, or there's the accelerated procedure, where SEM staff will decide whether asylum in Switzerland is granted or not. Last, for the difficult cases, where more profound analysis is needed, there's an extended procedure. The most important message we have is that this new schematic, this new procedure applies to anybody who has asked for asylum in Switzerland after March 1st, 2019.
The House of Representatives and the Senate supported a parliamentary motion by the Social Democratic Senator Claude Heche aimed at changing the law on debt collection and bankruptcy to allow the short-term economic integration of those heavily indebted. It would also foresee the introduction of a mechanism to wipe out debts under certain circumstances. Switzerland has no debt relief procedures, which makes it an exception in Europe. There are several avenues if you get into debt. Your salary can be retained, you can declare yourself bankrupt, or you can make a repayment agreement with your creditors or the court directly. But these procedures make it difficult for the affected person to get out of debt, as they are often expensive, time-consuming, and complicated. They also do not stop new debts from piling up and extending over a long period of time. Debt relief experts advise on how to avoid a debt in the following points. Do not use a credit card. Instead, get a debit card. With a debit card, you can only spend your own money, not a borrowed money. Try to avoid loans unless it is for a mortgage. Pay your bills on time. Learn to budget and avoid buying things you can live without. It is not our differences that divide us. It is our inability to recognize, accept, and celebrate those differences. The 21st March is the official UN-proclaimed International Day for the Overcoming Racial Discrimination. For this occasion, numerous events take place worldwide. In Switzerland, several municipalities and cantons are organizing a series of activities to sensitize the population to various forms of racial discrimination in the month of March, like Culture Festival in Bern on Saturday 23rd of March from 2 p.m. till 11 p.m. at the main church located in Bern train station. Series of events organized by Radio X in Basel and also Diaspora TV Live, TV racism talk show of Africa Mirror coming up on 24th of March from 5 p.m. till 6 p.m. The starting dates varies from canton to canton. Kindly check your cantonal integration offices for more information. This is our entertainment news. Passion Club in Bern hosted one of the biggest African R&B concerts with a superstar artist, Runtown from Nigeria. The night was full of glamour and fun. The event was organized by Main Boogie, a Swiss-based R&B singer. Diaspora TV would like to take you right inside the concert hall. Enjoy it.
Ghana girl say she won't marry you. One time, she talk. One time, say what? Say what? On your body. My doctor say my girl dey on top your body, yo. All the times where I do you bad, I'm sorry, yo. Give me love way better pass money, yo. Where sweet pass honey, yo. If I fight, make I fight for the love. If not grace, make I grace for the love. Don't want no complication. This is a situation. If not grace, make I grace for the love. If not fight, I go fight for the love. Don't want no complication. This is a situation. Baby, yo, I want to love you for life. Baby, yo, come make I love you for life.
Thank you for watching Diaspora TV Switzerland. I am your host Rahel Sisai. Till another time, all the best. በሌላ ወቅታዊ ዜናዎች እስከምንገናኝ ድረስ መልካም ሁሉ ተመኘው። አመሰግናለሁ።
Anyone seeking Switzerland's protection from persecution can apply for asylum at the Swiss border or on Swiss territory. The purpose of the asylum procedure is to determine whether the applicant has the right to Switzerland's protection and therefore should be granted permission to remain in the country. So how does Switzerland's asylum procedure work? To begin with, each asylum seeker is assigned to one of Switzerland's 6 federal reception and processing centers. These are located in Elstetten, Basel, Bern, Budry, Palermo-Novazzano, and Zurich. To make sure that the procedure runs as efficiently as possible, all of the officials involved in the asylum procedure are based in these centers: SEM staff, translators, legal protection, and return counseling. On arrival at the center, asylum seekers first have to register. They are asked to provide basic personal details, are photographed, and have their fingerprints taken, which are then stored in a database. Any identity papers or passports in their possession are confiscated. The applicants undergo a preliminary medical checkup. Also, asylum seekers have access to free, independent legal representation. This person helps them to navigate the asylum procedure and assists them in filling out the necessary paperwork. If the asylum seeker is already registered in another European country, the SEM checks whether he can be sent back to that country. If this is found to be the case, responsibility for the asylum procedure passes to the country concerned. If the State Secretariat for Migration approves the asylum application, the next step is a detailed hearing. Here, the applicant gives reasons for leaving his country and presents evidence that backs up his claims. Based on this information, a decision is taken on whether the person should be recognized as a refugee and granted asylum in Switzerland. In clear-cut cases, the applicant will be notified of the asylum decision within 8 days of the hearing. If the State Secretariat for Migration requires more time, the applicant is transferred to the extended procedure and relocated to a cantonal reception center. This procedure can take up to 1 year. At the end of this procedure, the SEM informs the applicant of its decision. If the SEM approves the application, the person will be granted asylum in Switzerland, receive a residence permit, and be allocated to a canton, which will oversee his integration. If the SEM rejects the application, the person must leave Switzerland, but only if his life would not be in real danger if he were to return to his country of origin. If it is impossible for the person to return for any of these reasons, he will be granted temporary admission status. Temporarily admitted persons are authorized to remain in Switzerland until the situation in their country of origin has normalized, or until such times that their life would no longer be in danger should they return, and if this repatriation is considered reasonable and feasible. This reflects the objectives of Swiss asylum policy. Those who are entitled to Switzerland's protection should receive it as quickly as possible. Those who are not must leave the country.